Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Daily Shooter, and today I want to talk about some questions that I've been receiving here on the channel regarding two new city ordinances in the city of Los Angeles and Los Angeles County. These two ordinances basically revolve around magazine restrictions and locking firearms away at home. Okay, now people have been asking how come I haven't come out with a video on this yet, and that's because I want to do as much research on it as possible. I want to know all the facts before I make a video and comment on it. To the point where, you know what, I'm saying something that may not be true. Now, in doing so, I want to make sure that I read all the documents, I get all the correct statements, but I can give you the basic rundown of exactly what's going on. Okay, so the first city ordinance basically bans the ownership and possession of any magazine or feeding device that can accept more than 10 cartridges. So, a lot of you are going to say, I thought in California, magazines that accepted more than 10 rounds were already illegal, and you'd be partially right. Now, a lot of people don't know that California is currently under an existing assault weapons ban. Okay, we are under an existing assault weapons ban as well as magazine restrictions. However, if you had magazines that you owned prior to those magazine restrictions and weapons ban, you were basically allowed to grandfather those in with exceptions, okay? The exceptions being that you couldn't sell them, you couldn't transfer them, you couldn't take them out of state and bring them back in, and if you died, you couldn't even transfer them to your family. They would have to be disposed of, brought to a police department, or transferred to an FFL, okay? So basically, that's the magazines that they're talking about. For those people that are wondering how are those, magazines in circulation, there's actually quite a large number of those magazines here in the state, in Los Angeles, and in Los Angeles County. Now, for some reason, our city government thinks that those magazines are somehow responsible for mass killings, okay? And they're using the recent shootings at the theater and other rulings in the state, such as San Francisco, which has almost an exact identical city ordinance that has actually withstood some court cases already. Okay, so San Francisco and Sunnyvale both have city ordinances like this already on the books that have withstood judicial scrutiny so far. Okay, so that's kind of where they're going with this so far with everything that I've read. Now, what they want you to do is they want you to take those, if you're somebody who's in possession of those magazines right now, and the mayor, by the way, has already stated that he plans on signing this, this bill into law as soon as it gets to his desk. They want you to take those, transfer them to an FFL, take them out of state, basically get rid of them, or you can take them down to your local police department, which in turn they'll give you absolutely nothing except for probably a thank you or just a smug look. Okay, so that's basically what's going on. That's what they want. They don't want anybody in the city to have those. Now, my question originally was, what about my FFL? Can my FFL still get in, let's say, PMAG 30-round magazines, put in that 10-round spacer in them, and then sell them to me? Or am I only going to be able to get little 10-round magazines now here in the city? Well, your FFL can still receive magazines that can accept more than 10 cartridges, okay? They are the exception. Also, I'm reading that there is a current amendment to this ordinance that was put forth by basically the police union, okay? The police union, which has donated a lot of money to the city council, stating that retired police officers I forget the exact people. That's why I said, I don't want to put out all the information yet, but basically exempting retired police officers or police officers that are no longer with the department but still have concealed carry permits. This would basically exempt them from any of these city ordinances, the two city ordinances. So basically, that's what they want you to do. Now, the second city ordinance has to do with, excuse me, I've got allergies today, I apologize. The second city ordinance basically has to do with locking up your firearms and storing them while you're at home. Now, the problem is and this is another one where it already exists in the state of California, that you have to lock up your firearms when you're at home, when they're around children, things of that nature. And I definitely agree. If they're around children, you should have them either in control or locked up. Okay, however, that's just my opinion. The city basically is saying now that one of those existing rules is no longer going to be. There was a rule stating that if let's say your firearm was within arm's reach. So I am sitting at my computer, I have my gun on me, I take it off, I put it on the computer, and I start typing. That would actually now be considered illegal in the state or in the city of Los Angeles and Los Angeles County, you would no longer be able to have your firearm in reach. It would have to be in your hand or on your person in order for it to be illegal. If it's not in your hand or on your person, it has to then be locked up, either locked in a safe or have, I believe, a trigger lock on it. And there's more I need to do to read about that too, because like I said, there's already ordinances and laws on the books in the state of California that require you to lock up your firearms. I don't know how this is going to affect ammunition in the magazines, or if you have a revolver, ammunition in the cylinder. I don't know how it affects that, and I'm definitely going to make an update once I learn a little bit more about it. You know, I've been searching for the actual documents for 2 days here. But that's basically what we're looking at. Magazine restrictions and, you know, lock restrictions, I guess you could say. Now, I know this is really an informal video for me, you know, and I do apologize for that. I'm just kind of talking to you guys, letting you know what I found out so far, and trying to answer some of your questions. Now, I am definitely not saying to break the law, okay? I would never tell you to break the law, because I don't want anybody that watches this video to get in any kind of trouble. But inside, every fiber of my being wants there to be mass civil disobedience when it comes to these particular ordinances. I don't want to see a single magazine go to the FFL. I don't want to see a single magazine be turned into the police department. I don't want to see a single magazine be shipped out of state. There is a time in California where it's going to come down to the point that somebody's going to have to stand up and say, no, no more. You can't have this. You know, to all those people that wave their flag saying, come and take it. Well, this is them trying to come and take it. If you own 30-round magazines and you're legally able to own those, they're coming to take those. Okay, now they've already said that they're not going to come to your house. They're not going to do a door-to-door sweep. They're not going to come and take your magazines from you. Okay, that's what they're saying. They expect you to do it kind of on an honor system. But this is how it starts. You're grandfathered in, but now you're not grandfathered in. We're not going to come door-to-door to take your magazines. Well, you don't know. Maybe they'll change that in the future too. And there's got to be a time where gun owners stick together and stand up and say, no, no more. And the only way that's going to happen is with mass civil disobedience. I'm not saying to do it. Definitely not saying to do it. I'm not saying to break the law. I'm not going to get myself in any trouble, and neither should you. But that's what I want to see. Anyway, guys, that's all I know so far. I'll give you an update as soon as I find out. Oh, one other quick thing. Garcetti, which is the mayor of Los Angeles, definitely plans on signing these city ordinances into law. Okay, so they're definitely going to pass. They've already passed city council. They just need to go up to his desk now. It does take 30 days after he signs it for these rules to take effect. Once that rule takes effect, then you have 60 days to comply under the new policy. So in essence, basically we have, what is it? Then we have 90 days plus maybe a week or so before he signs it. So 90 days plus a week, 97 days. Just get together, talk to people, find out what's going on, but we all need to stick together. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.